Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Simile Mode. Today we'll be diving deep into the iPhone 14 Pro Max review in 2024. Now with the 2023 iPhone, which is the iPhone 15 Pro lineup, which ushers in a direct competitor to this iPhone 14 Pro that I'm actually going to be reviewing. The reason for this review is to find out whether iPhone 14 Pro Max is still a very good option in 2024. Stick around to find out what our verdicts are. But before you leave, please do not forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell icon for more awesome tech reviews. Let's get started. So when you unbox this phone, you will find the phone, the USB-C to Lightning cable, and some documentations. It does not come with any charger as expected, and the design looks very sleek and feels premium as always. The build quality for this iPhone features a very stunning stainless steel band, as you can see, and then it is finished with the matte finish, and then it has the ceramic front. It is slightly heavier than its predecessors, but it feels incredibly solid. The matte finish on the back helps the phone to make it nicer to hold and feel, and it makes it also less prone to fingerprints. Compared to the iPhone 15 Pro Max, which has a smaller design with a lighter titanium frame, the iPhone 14 Pro Max feels more substantial in the hand, so it's gonna be a little heavier. It's gonna feel more premium without using it with a case when compared to iPhone 15 Pro Max, and the design overall is still very solid in my opinion. Now, for my personal use, I will dive deep into the display and the performance. The display for this iPhone 14 Pro Max is 6.7-inch Super Retina SDR with ProMotion display, offering a 120 Hz refresh rate, which is incredibly bright, vibrant, and even more appealing to use outdoors. On the hood, you have the A-System Bionic chips that can handle almost everything you throw at this phone. It has not slowed up or have any lag whatsoever, be it you're playing games or accessing or editing videos and all that. This phone can handle all of it with very good and incredible speed. So comparing this to the iPhone 15 Pro Max, which features the new A17 Bionic chip, you might notice some slightly better performance in the iPhone 15 Pro lineup, especially things like during the high-end gaming apps and all that. You might notice slightly better performance on the iPhone 15, but the iPhone 14 Pro Max is still a very powerful device. It has not slowed down. I've used this since 2002 that it came. The performance has been very, very solid. And then this phone also brought in some new features when it was released. The Dynamic Island, which makes you to use the adaptive UI element to integrate with the front cameras and sensors, which provides a seamless way to access notifications and live activities and also quick actions. It dynamically changes, and the shape is based on what you're doing and how you're multitasking with it. The iPhone 15 Pro also retains this feature, but there is no any difference between how it is functioning in the iPhone 15 versus this particular 14 Pro Max. So it is something to keep in mind. Also, a new feature that this phone brought was the screensaver. Apple, unfortunately, has not given us any ability to use screensavers before now. But what Apple did in this was to introduce a few new features of screensaver, and you can use various types of screensavers like pictures, static pictures, or dynamic options that you can just configure it personally. Personally, I have mine set to the dark, and as you can see, it tells you the key information like time and date and other notifications that may pop up. Comparing this to the newest iPhone, which is the 15 Pro Max, it is also very similar to what you can do in terms of screensaver. So there is no significant difference or no difference whatsoever in that. Another very great feature that I want to talk about is the camera options in this phone. This phone offers for the 8 megapixel sensor that captures stunning detailed pictures with accuracy to the lighting that is around where you are taking those pictures. The ultra wide telephoto lenses are equally very fantastic and offers versatility in different shots. When you compare this to the iPhone 15 lineup, the 15 is slightly improved, but iPhone 14 still holds camera standard to a very high rate. And what I mean is, when you compare this to all other phones, I tell you, with my experience and having used this phone for over a year, is that you will be so impressed with the type of picture quality that you will get of this, regardless of whether it's taken in the night mode is very sharp, or whether it was taken in the day. This phone has the capacity to produce very stunning pictures. Then let's talk about the software and the features. This phone runs iOS 18. It brings a whole lot of new features into it, and it improved its Face ID as well, that works better from more angles. And then, like I've said, the always on display, the dynamic island, and the ProMotion, all these interfaces with the phone, part of what makes this phone a very good choice, because even though that we have the iPhone 15 Pro Max now, this iPhone still can be able to use the same iOS to get almost the same features that you will get from the 15 Pro Max. Another thing that I also want to talk about is the battery life. This is the Pro Max, right? So the battery life can still last you all day with lighter use, but if you use it heavy during the day, then you probably will need to top up the battery towards the evening or at night. Personally, I sometimes use this in a very light way, and then it runs through the day. I don't need to recharge or top up. But during the heavy use days that I'm on long calls and all that, then I then need to charge this phone at around 5 p.m. just to give it more juice. So overall, my take on this is there are some pros and cons. If you want to make this choice over the 15 Pro, which is the latest, you will not get the latest hardware features, because the 15 Pro, that was what comes with that versus this. But if you also look at the pictures that comes out of it, it is a very good one, right? Even though that this is an older phone. So I would say that the customizability, the dynamic island, the screensaver, the software experience, the camera experience that is coupled in this device makes it a very, very competitive iPhone to get over the 15 Pro Max. Another thing to keep in mind is that the prices of this phone will be significantly lower than the latest one, even though that the latest one just a very few features that this cannot perform. And the greatest of it is that this uses the lightning cable, but the 15 uses the USB-C to USB-C. So in conclusion, and to wrap things up, is the iPhone 14 Pro Max still a very good option to buy in 2024? Of course, absolutely yes, I would say. Because if you are looking to have a more premium experience, cutting-edge features at a very lower price than the latest model, then I would say you need to go for the iPhone 14 Pro Max. But it's your choice. If you have the cash to get a bit upgrade and then deal with or have more premium features that are also what you get with this, but a little more on the latest iPhone, you can go for the 15 Pro Max. But this has been my daily driver, even though I have the 15 Pro Max. This has been my daily driver, and this has served me. So that's my conclusion on this video. Thank you.